After a disastrous 2016 election, Democrats are looking to rebound in 2020. Should be easy. Current guy is pretty unpopular. But who will they choose to lead the liberal charge? Could it be a young, up-and-coming state senator, a private sector star who's ready to mix it up in Washington, a celebrity even? Apparently, no. It's looking more and more like Democrats have their hearts set on this guy. That's right, Senator Bernie Sanders, the 76-year-old independent from Vermont who lost the nomination to Hillary Clinton and is not a Democrat, appears to be setting himself up for another run in 2020. Sanders is reportedly trying to address some of the, quote, weaknesses the party saw in him the last time by working with the labor movement and getting more foreign policy experience at 76. So is Bernie really the future of the Democratic Party? If you got to work on stuff like foreign policy at 76, having been in...
Such an ageist.
Well, come on. Isn't it the least we can expect that our presidents, and I know who we've got currently, but I didn't vote for him, that they already know some stuff about what they might have to be doing as president. Maybe by 50, maybe by 40, maybe figure that out and then build a life career around that kind of stuff. And no?
I would like
Am I setting the bar too high?
I would like to hear Bernie talk more about the economy. I think the economy is very important, and I think he should focus on that. But look, I think...
Seeing bankers behind every
Absolutely.
tree.
He has earned the right to run again if he wants to. He inspired a lot of people, specifically a lot of young people. And if he...
No. Of course he has the right.
No, but
that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying the Democrats, the Democrats are going to anoint this guy.
But he is the guy who, if you look at who inspired young people in the last election, yeah, he's, 804 years old, but, he inspired young people. That's what they're looking for here, isn't it?
Yeah, and actually polling shows that against President Trump, he could do pretty well. This is, I don't know how they poll these things for 2020, but 2020 presidential election has Trump at 36% and Senator Sanders at 42%.
Look,
I mean, we know he would have won in 2016. We all agree on that.
I don't agree.
We all agree that Bernie would have won.
I know you and Dave think so, but no.
Look, Bernie Sanders, his name's going to be out there, and he's going to put himself out to be considered. And look, the guy who came in a close second, et cetera, that's not a big surprise. And he's also a guy who I really think cares a lot about framing the debate.
Then that's what he should do. He should frame the debate, and he should help the party, of which he is not a member, figure out who the best star is
and I think
to defeat Trump.
A lot of other names that are, my age or younger that are out and could be in the debate, too. We're going to see, Kamala Harris. We're going to see Cory Booker be considered. We're going to see Andrew Cuomo be considered. There's a lot of names of up-and-coming people who are new to the Senate. Kirsten Gillibrand and others. She's not as new as Kamala, but, there are names out there now that people are in the party galvanizing in polls to Bernie Sanders. It's not a surprise to me because he was one of the two names significantly out there in the primaries. I think we can't read too much into this in 2016.
Go ahead. So you used the word anoint, and I think it's the wrong word. I think that the Democratic Party's changed, as has the Republican Party. Now, because Trump was such a personality, the vast majority of the focus in the last election, and primaries as well, was on him. The differences in the Republican Party, the changed Republican Party, and so on and so forth. And there hasn't been a great deal of analysis of how the Democratic Party's changed. Bernie Sanders almost won the nomination, and he almost won it over somebody who was anointed, Hillary Clinton. So I don't think that it's a matter of, well, let's anoint him ahead of time. Let's parachute Bernie Sanders in for 2020. I think it's going to be quite difficult to stop him, at the very least, playing spoiler. Not because he is backed by money, not because he is in some way within the power structure. He's not actually a Democrat, but because the Democratic Party, for better or for worse, has changed, and he's noticed that in a way a lot of the other candidates haven't.
But I think that's what I mean. I don't think they've changed. And in fact, if they don't, the party needs to get organized on this. If they don't want someone like Bernie Sanders to play spoiler, then they should think about that and talk about it ahead of time. And they will anoint someone. That's what parties do.
Well, they certainly did last time.
Yes,
they certainly did last time, and they did everything they could.
The Republicans didn't. We tried. The Republicans tried, but did not.
When that happens to a party, there's nothing anyone can do to stop it. And I'm wondering whether the Democratic Party has changed.
I think this is Bernie Sanders kind of asserting his value to the Democrats. All right. I mean, the DNC is not going to anoint the guy that they did everything everything to rig the election against last time. But this is what Bernie Sanders has that is really, really valuable to Democrats. He has his endorsement, and that means a lot. Okay, listen, and his followers, the two particular key constituents, which are the young people, as you mentioned before, and then there's the working class white people, which Democrats have been struggling to get because it turns out 8 years of yelling at people about their privilege doesn't work too well for people who are not privileged at all. And Bernie Sanders actually has a message that appeals to some of them, as terrifying as I find that personally.
I got it, Dave. I got it. No, I know how you feel. I know how you feel, and I know how Bernie supporters feel. I don't think he's the future of the Democratic Party.
I'm sitting here thinking, the tears of joy that the Republican Party would shed if Andrew Cuomo is the nominee would raise the oceans much more than global warming.
Also, just quickly, and kind of apropos of nothing, I just want to get in here. Hillary's upset because no one's asking her for her opinion. Well, I don't know if she's upset, but here's what she said on Hugh Hewitt's radio show. Nobody's actually been to see me. I see Democrats all the time, and no one has said, hey, I'm going to run, or I'm thinking about running. Give me advice now, because it's too soon.
That is shocking that anyone's been there to see her.
Be nice.
All right, when we come back,
unnecessary.
The president is back from Thanksgiving break and back to bashing his favorite target, us.